Hello and welcome to this quick watercolor tutorial. Today I'll be painting the single tea rose. I started with sketching very roughly a main stem of the flower and the flower base. Then I moved on to sketching quickly the small sepal leaves coming out of the base of the flower, and then I moved on to sketching where the nodes or the small branches of leaves gonna be sitting on the main stem. This is a very quick sketch. Then I move on to putting some concentrated red onto my round size 8 brush. I'm using Winsor and Newton watercolors. This is a brilliant red and I'm going to mix it with medium yellow, which is kind of warmer yellow color. As you can see, I'm careful leaving some of the white spaces in between petals. This is a very loose approach to watercolor painting. This is by no means going to be a botanical sort of study, and I'm painting the edges of the petals first because this is where I see the most concentrated color, and then I use a more diluted paint to fill in the gaps, but being careful leaving some of these white spaces. I'm interchanging red with a warm yellow and mixing them together to create a transition between the two colors, just as we see them on the real flower. Where I felt it was necessary, I dabbed with a little bit more of the concentrated red. Then I moved on to painting the small sepal leaves that come from the bottom or the base of the flower. I added a little bit of the red to the sap green I was using for the sepal leaves to create a more brownish green color for the main stem of the flower. You may have noticed that the flower stem has a different color to that of the leaves. I then quickly sketch the little nodes on which the main leaf is going to be set on, and then with a little bit of red I paint the auxiliary buds. These are the little tiny buds that come in the base of each node. As you can see my palette now, I'm taking more of that sap green on my brush, and now using the full length of my brush and pressing hard on the paper and then lifting it slowly up, I create a very base leaf shape. And then when the paint is still wet, with a very short and quick strokes, I create the sort of serrated edge that the rose leaves have. And I added a little bit of a darker green, cooler green mixed with ultramarine to indicate a little bit of a shadow on that leaf. And every leaf is painted a similar way. So I press hard at the base of the leaf, then move on to the tip by lifting slowly the brush. This branch has a smaller leaves and I just paint them with a very tip of my brush. That's the beauty of these round brushes, that they can create a very thick strokes when you press down and very precise and thin strokes when you just use the tip of the brush. As you can see, I use the same approach to almost all of the leaves that are painted, and I mix a little bit of that cooler green tone to create a variety of color, which I think is a lot more attractive than just a flat one color. Here I decided to overlap the small leaves with this last large leaf. Now I'm just filling in the gaps. I then pick up my small size 1 brush by Winsor and Newton and put more concentrated red and pink colors from my palette to add some details to the petals. Especially on the petal edges, I decided to make them a little bit more stand out to create a little bit of a contrast. Using the same mixture of red, I decided to add the veins to some of the leaves. As you can see, I'm painting very quickly and very roughly. This is a very quick watercolor painting that I believe anyone can paint. And this is it, a very quick watercolor rose illustration. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more watercolor tutorials, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you next time.